Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us in the new year. We are excited to jump in and talk a little bit about some of the community partners that we have here at Centra. My name is Cami Smith, and I am your host. And today, I'm here with Gwenn Cheatwood, and she is here representing Girls on the Run. She is the Director of Development, and this is for Girls of the Run of Central Virginia and Blue Ridge. And so, national program?
Yeah, international. Girls on the Run International is based out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
We have over 175 councils across the United States and Canada, serving over 200,000 girls annually.
Oh, my goodness.
I said I'm kind of bad with the numbers, but
no, that's okay.
200,000
with
girls
numbers
annually.
like that, I mean, that's incredible. And so we can start from the beginning. Tell us a little bit about yourself. And then let's kind of jump into some more information about Girls on the Run. So how did you first get involved with Girls on the Run?
Okay, I got involved when my daughter was in the third grade. It was still a virtually new program. I'd heard of it, but didn't quite understand exactly what it was all about. But as a mother, when your daughter is excited about something that's going to get her on her feet and making friends, I was all for it.
Yeah.
Her first season, I helped out as a parent volunteer and completely fell in love with the program, immediately signed up to train as a volunteer coach and started coaching the very next semester. I coached the rest of her time, third, fourth, and fifth grade. And we do have a middle school program called Heart and Soul.
Okay.
For middle school age girls. It's a very good program, but having completed 3 years of Girls on the Run, my daughter opted not to do that, but I was still so in love with the program, with the girls, with the coaching, that I continued on and continued serving as a volunteer. And then my daughter kind of came back, and as she got into high school, she was trained as a volunteer coach. We call them junior coaches in high school. And she has since coached at the middle school level and also the Heart and Soul program, as well as for Girls on the Run in college. And she is getting ready to graduate college in May.
Wow.
So that's the many years that we've been at this. It's become quite the family affair.
That's incredible. I was going to say, this is quite the family affair. And you said before when we were chatting, even your husband has gotten involved.
Yes, we do 2 end-of-season 5K events.
Okay.
I say 2, but actually each season, to put it more precisely, each season ends with a large-scale 5K event.
Okay.
Because we cover such a large territory, Greater Charlottesville, Greater Lynchburg, Roanoke Valley, as well as the New River Valley, we do 3 5K events at the end of each season, which means we need a lot of volunteers.
Yes.
So for our local Greater Lynchburg 5K event, my husband has been coming almost every single year. There was even a year I couldn't come, and he and my daughter still came and volunteered. So it's, yes, you recruit. We need well over 100 volunteers at each event to put on a quality 5K. And so I beg and plead all my friends, family, everyone is involved in this.
So tell me a little bit about Centra's relationship with Girls on the Run, Central Virginia, and the Blue Ridge.
Centra has a long relationship with Girls on the Run. Back when we were Girls on the Run Greater Lynchburg years ago, we are just going into our 17th year of bringing this locally to girls in Central Virginia. We have had sponsorships and grants from Centra almost since the beginning. I don't have a date of the first one. We've had many volunteer coaches that are Centra employees, which we appreciate so very much. And we've had several board members from Centra. So we are very grateful. Most recently, we received in October a $10,000 grant from Centra, which goes to help pay for girls who may not otherwise be able to participate, because there is a price associated with Girls on the Run. It costs us $180 per girl to bring this curriculum to them, because of, training the coaches. We have to pay for the curriculum and the materials, the 5K, the T-shirts, the lessons.
Yeah.
But not everyone can afford that. So we offer a sliding scale, and we offer scholarships to those in need. And I have to say, I am so proud to be a part of an organization that has never turned a girl away.
Wow.
based on need. And we've worked with several local running shops to provide shoes locally. Jeff Fedorko and Riverside Runners have done.
Love Riverside
Yes,
Runners.
we do too. He's been on our board forever and helps us. Jeff helps us with our 5K events, wealth of information, and he, as well as some other running shops, have helped us put shoes on girls.
That's amazing. And that makes a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Comfortability when you're running, especially when these girls are doing this for the first time, to have that support, not just financially, but also physically. Like, it's a big deal for a young girl who's stepping out of her comfort zone, maybe.
And they need to know what proper running shoes are. Yeah. I'm not wearing proper running shoes right now. These are more for fashion, but they need to know, that your Converse are not going to be good for running. As part of our program, we want to teach them, all of the proper running etiquette and stretching and stride and all of those things, in addition to what I feel is the more important part of Girls on the Run, which are the life skills and lessons that we teach.
I love hearing all about this, because when I think about the heart of Centra and our mission, and hearing how it pairs so nicely. And I was reading in this book, because my daughter did Girls on the Run for the first time past season. Loved it. It made such a huge difference. And we'll talk about that later. But the grown-up guide, which each girl is given their Girls on the Run guide, and then the parent is given a follow-along curriculum so that she and I can train together. We can go through what she learned each week together. And we would often do that, whether we were walking or running. We would bring her books and talk through each of the points. And so not only was this such an incredible program for her, but it was really cool for me to be a part of as well. And it kind of brought us together, which, you're pouring into families, you're pouring into these girls, you're pouring into the community, because all of this is going to be a return, which is incredible.
It is. And I love to know that you have used the grown-up guide. We're never exactly sure how many parents use it, but it does give you a training guide. So if you want to complete the 5K with your girl, dependent upon if she's going to run it or walk it or what, you may need to really use that training component.
There was lots of training.
But also what I like about that is the questions after each lesson, because we do focus at the beginning of each of our time together. The girls meet for 10 weeks, twice a week for 90 minutes each time. And at the beginning of each session, we are teaching the girls something that is important to them at this stage in their life. We start with what is special about you, recognizing what is special about you. When I was growing up, my self-esteem, as a girl was not, it was all focused on, eat as little as possible and be very thin and grow up to be a bride. And these girls are developing such wonderful self-esteem. We talk about negative self-talk and why it's not good, how to stand up for yourself and others, and how to make friends and be a good friend. And there are talking points in the grown-up guide where you can ask your girl, so tell me about this. Tell me about, we talk about star power, your inner strength and light. Tell me about your star power. Tell me about, how would you stand up for yourself or a friend? And then we finish each season with a focus on community and why it's so important to give back to your community. And
Wow.
each team individually decides upon a community service project that they would like to carry out. And most of the girls absolutely love that's one of their favorite things about the whole season is that community service project. And then, as I spoke about before, we end each season with a large scale celebration 5K event. And that I have participated in so many of those, both as a coach and as staff. And I can say without a doubt, I still get chills
Oh my goodness,
every
yes.
single time, because to see these girls, the 5K is not about getting across the finish line in a specific amount of time. It is about having a tangible goal and realizing that goal.
Yeah.
And the 5K we do locally is the Dairy Loop at Sweetbriar College. And that is not an easy 5K by any stretch. It's very difficult. And these little girls have no idea that their bodies sometimes are capable of it. Now, we had someone finish, I feel like, under 23 minutes. So we have some
Yes.
little stars that fall in love with the running, and they're very excited with the music and Southpaw and their parents and everyone cheering them along, and they will just, run flat out.
Oh.
But then the other girls that come across just crying because they can't believe they actually did it.
Yes.
And it's just incredibly touching each and every season. I
Yes.
can't get enough of it.
It's a huge accomplishment.
It really is.
I
It
didn't
is.
run my first 5K until I was 40. I ran it last year. And I was so proud of myself. And so watching my daughter run across that finish line, and I mean, I don't think I've seen that much joy on her face at one time. She was so proud of herself. I think she was so excited that we were like standing there seeing it happen. But I want to paint a picture about these 5Ks because I think that Girls on the Run is a name that our community knows, but they may not understand. And I'm so glad that you walked through the curriculum because that's so valuable. And then coming up to the 5K, races are a blast in and of themselves. However, when we arrived, there were stations set up all over,
Right.
and she got her hair chalked like with
Happy
paint,
hair.
different colors on her hair,
Yes.
and
Tattoos.
tattoos, and there were photo booths, and I think there was like a bead station.
It's called our Beautiful bracelet making station,
Yes.
which picks up off one of our lessons about what
Oh.
makes you special and beautiful. And so each of the beads have a special meeting, and the girls make those
Aw.
bracelets. That is fairly new to our 5K
Okay.
events, race events, and it's been very, very popular. Happy Hair, the hairspray,
So fun.
that has always been the most popular.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
is
was a
fun.
very big deal for us. But then it was just really cool. There was something set out for them to write encouragement back to their coaches.
Yes, a gratitude station.
The gratitude station, and that was really special. She got to write a little letter, and we looked at what some of the other girls had written, and to see these connections that are forming, it's just so encouraging.
I will say the connection between the girls and their coaches, it is why I coached for so long.
Yeah.
It's very touching and moving, and I used to feel a bit in a conundrum as a coach because I couldn't reconcile whether I was doing it for them or for me. And I finally just gave up and thought it really doesn't matter. We're doing
Mutually
something
beneficial.
for each other, but it is completely soul filling. I cannot
Yes,
say enough
yes.
about coaching. It's very fulfilling.
So if someone who's watching today would want to get involved, what would that look like? What are the steps?
Well, the easiest way to get involved would be to go to our website,
Mhm.
which is girlsontherun, Cenva.org.
Okay.
And you can choose in what way you would like to get involved. Coaching, we are just getting ready to do our new coaches training. So now is the time. If you think that that's something you would like to do,
Okay.
now would be the time to go and sign up as a volunteer coach and choose. We have 2 training sessions available. You can choose which one. It is lengthy. It's approximately 5.5 hours long.
Okay.
It's fun. We make it as fun and interactive as we can. It does not feel like 5.5 hours long, and it's a great, but there's just a lot to learn. As a volunteer coach, you are looking at devoting, I would say, 3.5 to 4 hours per week.
Okay.
The closer we get to the 5K, it's going to be closer to 4 hours a week for those 10 weeks. So that is a bit of a commitment.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said earlier, these 5K events are very large scale, and it takes many people to make them go off with all of these stations that you were talking about, all of the pre-race activities, and just the sheer number of volunteers to keep the girls safe, because safety is a huge concern on the course. So you can go onto our website and register as a volunteer for the 5K. Or we also just have general volunteers, someone that wants to be there but can't commit to being a coach. We have season-long running buddies that we will place with a school, and they are there just to kind of run with the girls, chat with them.
Fun.
Because at practices, the girls really want their coaches to take a lap. And that's where you get your most... you get to communicate with the girls so much when you're out there taking a lap, and they do not care if you can run, if you walk, skip, hop, jump. If you're walking around that course with them, they just know that you're there for them, and they will open up to you so much. So that's really a lovely thing. So you don't have to be a runner at all to volunteer with us. We have so many different areas, even as a coach. You do not have to run. I was not a runner when I coached, and my first 5K running was at one of our Girls on the Run 5Ks, because I lined up with them, and 2 of the girls would not let go. So I thought, okay, we're doing this.
Here we go.
We're going to do this. And I did it, and I thought, well, if they, I can do it. It was very touching. And so I went on to do a couple of more 5Ks, but I was actually in my 50s when I did. I'm trying to think. I think I was 48 or 49 when I did my first 5K and half marathon.
Oh, wow.
And now at 53, I think that's enough on my knees. I'll walk.
Yes.
But again, they don't care. I helped out a couple of seasons ago with my daughter's team when she was coaching, and one of the girls said, Coach Gwenn, will you take a lap with me? And I said, of course I will take a lap with you, but my running may look a little bit more like you're walking.
Yeah.
And she said, that's okay, just try and keep up and do your best.
Aww.
So I did. And she stayed with old Coach Gwenn the whole time, so it worked out well.
Love it. So many great relationships.
Yes.
These are lessons that are going to impact these girls for the rest of their lives. You're just setting this foundation in place that some of them may not have ever had otherwise. And so I think that that's just incredibly special.
It is, and I'm in such a unique position because of how long I've been with the organization, and having seen my daughter and her friends and coach so many teams. And a lot of these girls are not only graduating from college, some are married and having children now, and to see from my vantage point here what a difference this has made in their lives. I know a lot of it has come from Girls on the Run. And I just want to share with you, I'd like to bring a couple of these whenever I talk with anyone about Girls on the Run. At the end of each season, after the community service project and just before we do our 5K, we ask the girls to just kind of recap what they've learned. So I can tell you how I've seen special things from this program, but to hear it from the kids, this is written by the girls. We call it their Girls on the Run toolbox, because this is what they take. They get a T-shirt and a water bottle and a finisher medal. But this is what they're really taking with them for the rest of their lives, is the skills that they've learned. And to hear a 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade girl, what did you learn? To be good to everybody and don't start bullying. What do you like? that it teaches you good things and how to help solve problems we may not know how to solve. What do you like about yourself? I'm kind. What do you like about yourself? My straight, shiny hair. When I was in third, fourth, and fifth grade, I didn't like anything about myself. I felt tall and awkward. And to hear these girls, what did you learn? How to do teamwork and friendship.
Oh, wow.
What did you like? Learning how to stay calm and respond to stuff. I learned that teamwork and friendship are the most important things. So, I mean, you get the point.
Wow.
Some of these girls, just to hear that from them, that this is their
Yes.
takeaway. And so many talk about their community service project. And one of the skills we teach is to stop and take a breather because words matter,
Yes.
and just hold on before you speak. And a lot of them reference these skills. So
Yes.
it's a very powerful program. It's so much more than running.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of this. I know it has impacted my family's life completely, and I'm so thankful. And
Oh,
there's so much to share, and I love that this is a partnership that Centra gets to step in and be a part of for this community, but also for these girls. And so I encourage those of you who are watching, if you have the time, get involved. If you don't have the time, you can give financially. There's so many ways that you can get involved and impact our community. And so, Gwenn, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us today.